Hi everyone and welcome back to my kitchen. Tonight we're going to be making a chocolate marjoram tart with leftover marjoram that I have from making the corn chowder because I don't know what else I'm going to use the marjoram for. So yeah, I don't know how it's going to be. Marjoram is a savory herb, but I'm going to be using it a sweet way. So here we have some boiling heavy cream and I'm going to add in this marjoram after I chop it. I forgot to chop it. Alright, see you guys. So yeah, I did a really rough chop on this, and I'm going to add it to the cream, which is back here, since it came to a boil. Mix it all in, get some of this stuff onto it. Let's see, turn this burner off, and put it over here. Just want to make sure I get enough. I think I'm going to add a little bit more. Martha Stewart has a quick recipe that is for herb-infused whipped cream, and I'm kind of using that as a guide, even though I'm not going to whip this up. It's just going to go into the tart. Alright, bye. While we let that steep for about half an hour, I have the oven preheated. I'm going to start making the tart dough. It's a variation on what I normally make. Instead of all flour, I've replaced 3 tablespoons of the flour that goes into it with cocoa powder. This is kind of an interesting tart recipe. So this is oil, sugar, butter, salt, and water, and we're going to put it into the oven at 410 until the butter is fully melted and starts to just brown around the edges. And then we'll take that out and dump all the flour and cocoa powder into it. Then we'll have a nice dough that we can form into the tart shell. Okay, so it's been 15 minutes. I think it is done. Let's pull it out and see. Oh yeah, see it's a little bit brown. Take it out, set it down. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to dump in the flour mixture and stir like crazy, it says, basically. Okay, you don't really have to stir like crazy, but you know, you get the point. Alright, I gotta do this with 2 hands, so I'll show you when it's all done and mixed together. So that's the dough, and we're going to put it in the tart pan and just press it down into it until it cools down a little bit, and then we can shape it with our fingers. Yeah, so I don't know why I said our fingers. That was kind of creepy. Is anybody here? Yeah, no, it's just me. So yeah, shape it with my fingers. Anyways, so yeah, I'll just put this in here. You're not going to miss much, and I'm just going to flatten it out a little bit so it'll cool faster. And once that is done cooling, the cream should be well infused, and that'll be nice. And yeah, okay, I'll be back a little bit. So I've washed my hands, don't worry. And yeah, this is definitely cool to the touch. And so I'm going to press this up and make a shell. And I'm going to par bake it at 350. And the oven should be preheated while I'm done doing this. And I'm just going to do that for 10 to 15 minutes so that it sets. We're going to bake it again once we add in the filling. Right, so the crust is all pressed into the tart pan. And now I'm going to do something called docking, which is when you use a fork and you just... And what this does is it allows steam to be released when you bake this, so that this doesn't become a huge dome where the steam just collects under it and then shapes it like that. So you make sure you want to dock it all the way around so steam can release evenly and so that the crust stays flat. This is extremely important to do. Now I know what you're thinking. You have all those holes in there. What's going to happen once you pour the filling in? Isn't it going to go under and into all of these holes? Well, don't you fret, because when I par bake this, it'll allow enough of the steam to be released, but they will also close up as it finishes baking. It's like magic. Baking sometimes is just like, I just love how things work out sometimes. It's just really magical and beautiful and artistic, and it's just a nice thing to do sometimes. Anyways, yeah, so I want to bake this in the hot oven, and I'll come back to you when it's all done and taken out. The shell has now been in there for 20 minutes. I added another 10 minutes on after, or 5 minutes on after doing a little bit of research online. So I'm going to put it in the toaster oven finally enough and leave it open for it to cool. So yeah, you can kind of hear that sizzling away. That's really nice. It smells really good in here. It's like chocolate cookies or brownies. And now I'm going to build the filling, which is really simple. It's just made of a few ingredients. And I'll show that to you when it's ready. We have that infused cream that I've now strained out, and we're just bringing it to a gentle simmer. And once that is at that, we're going to pour it over this 9 ounces by weight of both dark chocolate, 54%, and then semi-sweet chocolate chips, just to kind of give it out. I don't like super duper dark chocolate treats, and so I think also that intense dark chocolate would kind of cover up the subtle flavors of the marjoram. So that's why I'm doing those 2 chocolates, and once that's done, we're going to let it sit. This is the same procedure for making ganache, just so you know. So this is actually like a ganache cake or tart. Pour the cream over the chocolate, and it's been about 5 minutes, and so now I'm going to stir it all together and kind of make like a ganache almost. And this will be like obviously the main part of it. It's not looking great right now, but it will all come together, I promise. Look at all that. All that melted chocolatey goodiness. Alright, I'll show you once it's all together. How smooth and chocolatey that is. And onto this we're going to add 2 whisked eggs with a teaspoon of vanilla and a 1/4 teaspoon of salt. And this is what's going to make the mixture set in the oven and kind of give it a little bit of lightness from the eggs cooking. So yeah, this is going to mix all together, and then once the tart crust is fully cooled, I'll add this in and we'll bake it up. It's going to be so good. Okay, I think that the tart shell crust has actually cooled enough for us to fill it. There are some holes. That's actually going to be fine. I've worked with a tart shell that's had holes in it before, and you don't really notice when the filling is cooked. It'll be fine. This will be really good. I'm really excited to fill it and bake it up. Alright. Chocolate cream pie to me. Anyways, so I'm going to put it in the oven now. The oven's preheated back to 350. And bake this on up for 20 to 25 minutes. I'll check it at 20. So it's been 25 minutes, and there it is. And I think it is done. Yeah, I don't know. What do you guys think? It looks pretty done to me. It's still a little jiggly, which it's supposed to be. Yeah, I'm going to take it out. I'm going to call it. Time of death, 9:56. So sad to see another one bite the dust. Well, I tried hard. Alright, so I think that's it for tonight. I'll let this cool. Maybe I'll give you another snap once it's fully cooled and collapsed. And yeah, that's it. Well, thank you for this mini baking adventure compared to the other 2 I have done. It's so nice to have you along for the ride. Alright, hasta luego. Well, here it is all cooled. It's really pretty and kind of like a shiny surface. Well, that's it.